they are wherever they want to be. That must be clear. You know? Although it also must be clear that when we are in the soul body, then wanting is a different thing than when we are in a physical body. Because in the physical body we have this brain which allows us to make very rational choices and really think, okay, today I want to do this because of that and that. So when we enter in the soul form, in this more subtle body, in this energy body, then you cannot say that we are so very rational in our choices, we are more emotional in our choices. And so the deeper desires within us will bring us to certain places. So, but what happens immediately after this is that the soul moves to the astral plane, which is the first dimension behind the physical world. And there it can stay for a while. And this plane is often called the plane of fantasy, because whatever there is imagined is also experienced as real. So let's say if in all their life they've been poor and never had a really nice house, then maybe there they can imagine to have a really beautiful palace with big garden around and I don't know, elephants, whatever. And so that's where they can be for a while. Until most of them then are drawn back to earth, are looking for a new entry into the physical world, are looking for a suitable fetus somewhere where they want to be on this planet. And so that is now sometimes happening already after, let's say, a couple of days, a couple of weeks. But some surely they like to stay in the astral world a much longer time. Time perception there is also quite different. So if they are there for 1 year, maybe in their perception it's only 1 month or 2 weeks or something. So they might stay there for quite a while. And depending on, I would say, their spiritual evolution, they might also visit other more subtle dimensions. The whole build-up of the cosmos, let's say, in Vedic way, is a build-up from very subtle to very gross. And the most gross is here on Earth. Where energy has condensed in such a way that it becomes matter. But so the astral plane then is already quite a bit more subtle, pure energy. But then there is, for example, the celestial plane, as it is called, the first heaven, Svargaloka, where dwell gods and saints and other beings there, but where also human souls, they can visit and get some, I don't know, experience, some information, some inspiration. And there are even planes beyond that, more and more subtle. And so, it depends how light we become. The more we still hang on to, the more difficult it is to move up into more subtle realms. And that is, of course, true for most people, that their desires are related to this world. Or maybe, to some degree, fulfilled in the imaginary world of the astral plane. Until that is seen as, a little bit boring maybe after a while, because it's all like unreal, even though, of course, also physical world is unreal, but it is more tangible, and so in that way, then comes the desire to come back here. That is for most souls actually what happens. There is also quite a lengthy explanation of these different dimensions, these lokas, in that recording that I did last week. on the Leela board game, because there in the Leela board game you also see these different like dimensions. When you are then like in 7th dimension, actually, there the final letting go of all individuality can happen, which means that you enter into the absolute dimension, which is a dimension beyond dimension even. No? It is absolute, so it has no place actually, but it is still called Vaikuntha Loka, no? And Loka means place, so in a way it is a place, but it is a place beyond beyond the energy, no? And so then yes, they can like merge in the totality of everything and cease to exist. That is possible, yeah. And well, maybe it's less nice to say, but there are also the underworlds, no? And so people can also go there. And that very much depends on their emotional state. If they feel very negative when dying, then yes, that is where they will go. And these are not all like hells, as we are like thinking about that in terms of, lots of fire and suffering. There's also quite enjoyable places in the underworld, actually, where there's lots of partying going on, for example, and other things. So I'm not saying it's all bad. But there is one part there, yes, which is more like a purgatory, you can say, and where, yeah, we somehow get out of these negative emotions, burn them away. Yeah, that is definitely also there. But it is not, no, then the final destination again, no? Then again, from there, the soul can again move up. In Sanskrit, this is called preta, which can be literally translated as ghosts. They are souls who, for some reason, are so attached still to the physical world that even though they have only an energy body and thus belong to the astral world or any of the other dimensions, they still retain a certain kind of, you can say, solidity that allows them to remain here and also affect to some degree this world. Like maybe they can affect lights and other electronic equipments, or they might even like make something fall if it's already ready to fall, just a little more push, maybe it'll fall, no? And in that way they'll cause all kinds of strange things happening. And the reason why that happens is either because their death was accidental, or because they were murdered, or because they committed suicide. In all three cases, you can say their death was experienced in very negative way. And if you die by accident or by being murdered, you usually don't expect it, right? So then it comes as a shock. And that soul has no way to like immediately let go of everything. No, they want to stay here. They feel they may have unfinished business. No? Certainly, if they are murdered, maybe they want to somehow punish the one who did that. But if they died in an accident, maybe they feel they need to stay near to their family. They have not been able to say goodbye. They have not been able to take care of things before going. So then that may mean that they stay around much longer, and probably mostly affect people in dreams, for example, which anyhow can also happen from astral world. But they tend to do that more, of course, because somehow they still want to communicate, they still want to somehow solve things, and so that's why they are staying close by until finally they can let go, no? And then they just follow the normal way.